Alright, hello guys. So I wanted to talk about Khora and her abilities and stuff. But I have something I need to say first, is that I recently looked this up and I found out why Warframe doesn't take, massive amounts of feedback. Or, well, not feedback, but there are actual ideas for the game, sorry. Because I was, looking at, because I know I made myself damage 2.5 video, and I know it didn't influence anybody, and I was like, yeah, it makes sense, I'm a small individual that hasn't done much stuff in the last few months. But I was looking at somebody that's Tactical Potato and other people, there's freaking Reaper the Hunter right there, and a gay guy plays. Well, why hasn't they bothered to listen to them? Because if you, for some reason you don't know, damage 2.5 got cancelled, because I honestly still say impact and puncture suck. They still suck, honestly. And I don't mean to insult DE. It's just that honestly they're not great. They're not the best things. And with that said, I found this out and now I understand why. And with today, I'm gonna make a kind of more short and simple version of what I think and what I honestly want to say about Khora, but without having to go into, ridiculous depth and just throwing my 2 cents out there. Because I don't even need a show. Reasoning why is because there's a problem with Khora and her history. Because Khora actually originally was from damage 2.5. Problem is that now they gave her a cat. So she doesn't have her damage 2.5 where she used to change from being slash based to being impact based to being puncture based. She's not that anymore. But I wish that they kept it, first of all, for her cat. Because now she has a cat. She's a beast tamer. And her cat, which is a Cravat, has 3 stances, but I kind of wish that they synced all 3 of the stances to a damage type. And that's my first thing I want to address. Why did they get rid of it? Because it still would be pretty damn cool for Khora to do this. Because yes, the cat could, for example, pick a damage type. If you think of a Vernari, it has 3 different types of, stances, and this is her 3rd ability, because how it works is her 3rd ability, and why I'm not going through all these in the very beginning is because there are some problems I want to address just out there first. And number 1 is Vernari. They could have actually linked her damage 2.5 typing, and I get it because they didn't take damage 2.5 suggestions or even change it, but they still could have made it so her cat actually did 3 different damage types, because originally her cat did not slash, it did impact, which is kind of weird, but it kind of makes sense in these 3 types of actual stances, because the cat itself can do attack form. And I questioned, well, yeah, that makes sense why it would be slash, And when you think of a cat striking, it would be about claw swipes and stuff. And then after, when it wants to go in for a kill, it could do impact or something. I mean, not impact, puncture, still slash. Try to, bleed your opponent. When you think of actual nature, that's kind of how it is. And I didn't understand why didn't they actually keep that, because it'd be pretty cool. Imagine Protect was the idea that they're knocking down opponents by, slamming into their legs and stuff. The cat leaps up, targets their legs, or even jumps up in the air and then lands, tries to make a shockwave with their body and slams the ground, and causing all opponents to fall to the ground. And that would be impact. And then the heal would make sense, Vernari jumps up, bites an enemy by the neck and tries to suck their blood, kind of like a vampire or something, or just takes a big chunk out of the opponents to try to heal everybody, and that would make sense, stuff like that. And the problem is that, and I know that was just one ability, but she's called the Beast Tamer now. She's not I don't know what they used to call her, but honestly, she's just like a BDSM old actually I shouldn't say old, but it's she's like a cat lady that likes BDSM. That's the only way that a lot of people have been explaining her. And I agree, because she has one ability that synergizes with her cat, and it's an ability targeted to her cat. That's it. That's it. I mean, the rest of the 3 other abilities are just to her BDSM type of thing. Like, I'm not even kidding. And that's kind of my problem. I really wish that they made Whip Claw like a command attack, where it was like, I command you because you're in attack form, for example. Like, yes, they could make Venari have these 3 like damage, impact, and I mean her damage types being, you know, slash, impact, and like puncture and stuff. When it's coming down to her special attack sets built into her. But why didn't Whip Claw have that? You know, why can't you whip an opponent or command Venari to leap into a crowd of enemies, swinging your melee weapon at the same time, you know, like slashing them all, like cutting at them, you know, using her claws and swiping them all and causing bleed. And like if it's in defense form, that she leaps in, she you know, ground pounds the area, causing them all to be knocked down and being procced by impact. Or when when they need a heal, she leaps on to one Grenier or whoever, and it bites them by the neck and chunks them and gives you healing, you know, as a team. Why not that? I didn't understand that. And the rest of her abilities are just like BDSM-like things. Like Ensnare is essentially just synergistic only with her one. And that's the problem. All it does is just encapsulates one enemy and then it drags some other enemies closer. Why not making it so like Venari can leap into this thing, or like make it so it's multiple synergistics, you know, making it a very expensive ability or something, you know, or something to do with the cat where it's like ensnared enemies will make it so Venari goes ape, you know, making it so like she goes ahead and, you know, sees a ensnared enemy and she just goes ham. She goes like full blown like DPS when she's in attack, or in the protect form, that she goes ahead and takes that, you know, ensnared enemy or take those ensnared enemies and just whip them around or something, you know, making the coil, or even making the actual ensnared trap itself, like maybe it like bites the cord or something and it launches a bunch of, you know, sharp blades, or like, you know, impacting, you know, coils, like making it so it's much more a bulky coil that's like causing impact to proc quite often, or, you know, like puncture, making it a bunch of like needles or something. It doesn't do anything like that. It doesn't. And that's kind of the shameful thing. And what's funny is that the final ability is no matter what, you can't even solve this, because and why I want to hold up on even talking about Strangle Dome is because I want to talk more about Venari. I know this is really out of place and this isn't well written, but all pets in Warframe, and this is the elephant in the room right now, all pets in Warframe suck because their AI isn't forgivable. And the reasoning why I wanted to address why didn't they make this so it's Venari attacking, because I really wish that this commanded Venari and making her teleport around, you know, like if in attack form she jumps from your side, grabs your weapon and attacks your opponent. That would be pretty sick. Like in all forms, that maybe it teleports from to your side and then attacks. It's because all Kavats and the doggos kind of suck because their pathing isn't good. And I wish that they alleviate this. I don't even care if they take my ideas. I would prefer they did. Because Kavats and stuff suck at finding their paths. And the problem with the Strangle Dome is they drag enemies, like, I think maybe like a couple feet up in the air, essentially, and hang them left and swing them left and right, which makes it really, really hard to shoot them, first of all. But the actual Kavats and the pets of yours and Venari can't hit these guys then. They can't. They're actually... I've seen videos of them just staring up at the damn Grenier that's just being hung and swinging left and right. And they're not even being strangled. They're just straight up being... they're just being held up like a fucking yo-yo, you know? And that's the issue. there's no synergies with this. Like, you would assume that Venari would have the same effect. Like, I really wish that they fixed it by getting Venari to bite the cord, for example. I mean, but not the cord, but like the actual like the like the rope or whatever you want to call Strangledome's like thing is, that she bites down upon it, and it causes, you know, all the enemies to suddenly take damage and get procced on, you know, like all of that slash, like it will cause slash all through the enemies versus, or impact or puncture, you know, and that'd be pretty sweet. At least like that's just some light ideas, because I would assume that a Beastmaster would have a lot of their abilities to help the animal, to help the beast. And honestly, Whipclaw, I really wish that they make it so Venari teleports, because if it teleports from your side to attack for you, it'll alleviate a lot of issues, because you already have one ability that's not linked, right? You know, like linked purely towards it attacking, or like part of the whole like BDSM whip thing. So then why not do that, right? Because that's my problem about this. I really, really wish that they have done that badly, because Venari and Khora's actual condition right now is that they don't feel synergistic. They actually, to be serious, they cause problems for each other, because if you strangle Dome, Venari's just gonna stare there. You know, Venari's just gonna stare, and I don't even need to show a video of it, because it would be just I don't even have her. There's no point of it. And I've seen videos of people talking about it, so I just want to talk about those people's freaking things. But this is kind of the issue. They don't synergize. Like, I really wish that and Snare caused Venari to want to proc more stuff, or even attack. Like, and I know that they have Mark, like, which Venari, for her third ability, like, there's the changing of the actual stances, but then you can mark opponents, so it attacks more often of that opponent. But flying enemies, you know, it's crap. Then why not make it so ensnared enemies that she at least puts, like, at least the cat takes its time to CC them, you know, cause slash by biting the cord and causing that cord of whatever that Khora ties up opponents with, you know, pure blades or something, and that would be the only time that Khora is able to have that happen. And then, like, you know, Whipclaw teleporting to fix the alleviation of like terrible AI routing. You know, you constantly just cast whipping and it stays there, attacks opponents, you know, DPSs them down really quick, and that would be really sweet. I think that's what they need to do for it, but this is just my suggestion, and I totally respect them that they don't take these, and I know that they're most likely not going to take this because I'm too small. But like, how I would review and explain what Khora right now is honestly, don't play her right now. Like, yeah, she's been fixed comparatively to her day one release, but she still feels too much like a separation of two ideas. Too much, honestly. And I would say down the line, when they rework her correctly, play her. That's what I would say about it. So yeah, hopefully everybody's okay with this and is cool with this, because I just wanted to get that out of there, because I feel like Khora is a ball dropped pretty darn hard, and confusingly even maybe named wrong in my opinion, because she doesn't feel like one of those, you know, beast tamers, like, you know, one of those ones that are from like a carnivals or whatever, you know, or like that, like the whole idea of like those show tents or whatever, where they have like that Beastmaster where they can command a lion and stuff, and being like, you know, put their head into put their whole half of their body into the lion's mouth and then pull themselves out and be completely fine. You know, they tame the beast so well. This, on the other hand, feels like you're just kind of abusing your animal, and I'm gonna have to say it sucks. So I hope everybody is okay that I reviewed this way, and I hope everybody has a good day, though. You know, take care, though, guys. Peace.